Hello, good afternoon. It is Monday the 11th of December. 2 weeks to Christmas Day, Jack.
Got your shopping done?
No.
Started?
Bits, yeah. I haven't been well, have I? And I feel like I'm behind in that little thing where there's a bit of panic setting in going, I need to get my act together quickly because I don't do well with I get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's how I feel because I don't feel 100%. I feel a bit, But I'll get it sorted. What about you?
I've not bought a single thing.
No, there you go. 2 weeks to go. Well, in fact, we'd be worried if we're giving ourselves 2 weeks because we'll be on Christmas Day. So, 13 days.
Yeah.
Are you confident you can deliver? Like Santa?
Like, I'll get the bulk of it done in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Online shopping for me, mate.
Yeah, I'll do a bit of online shopping tonight, I reckon, or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then that's taken care of. And then just little trip into town one day.
Get it
sorted.
boxed.
I think I know what I'm getting for everyone pretty much.
It's the one. That's the one.
Comfortable. Like
that's the one. It's mystery gifts are the problem, aren't they? Having to think of surprises.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the issue.
Yeah. See, the only person that don't really know what to buy anything for is my brother. Like, my dad don't know what to get, and my mum.
You sort of
everything else. Like, it is just my brother. But, like, it's one of them.
Just get him some aftershave or something, mate. He always needs the lad. Off you go. Happy Christmas.
Comfortable.
Happy Christmas. Everton have won 3 games in a week. There you go, son. Yeah, it's all good. It is all good. 3 wins in 8 days for the Blue Men. No goals conceded. Almost got all our points back in a week, which was incredible. I personally can't remember, just off the top, I mean, I probably can start thinking, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to use it for this purpose to try a bit of effect. I can't remember when we've had 2 big home games back to back in the space of a few days and won both of them. Certainly not without conceding a goal. Certainly not beating 2 of the richest clubs in world football, 5-0 on aggregate. But what are we?
Honestly, Baz, I think honestly it'd be appropriate if you got your coat on and then you maybe got moving. Because this last week we haven't known the meaning of losing.
That is correct.
We haven't even known the meaning of conceding.
That is correct.
It's been boss and I don't know what to do because Everton haven't been boss for, my entire life.
You've got to go back to the start of Carlo's one and only full season when we bossed the first 7 games. I know. 4 Premier League wins and obviously 3 in the Cup. But the way we've done it, and obviously that was COVID, so it wasn't the same and all of that stuff.
And we had Carlo Ancelotti, so there was a bit of expectancy there that we'll do well. Yeah. This has come on the back of a 10 points deduction and playing, decent teams. Obviously Chelsea an underperforming team, but one of their midfielders was worth more than our entire starting lineup. And that's cheating. Overspending Everton, by the way. Well, because if we'd have bought Moises Caicedo, we'd have blitzed financial fair play, but me PSR just in one transfer. You're only allowed to lose 105. We'd have lost 115. Yeah. And the other kid who went off, Enzo, he would have blitzed that. That would have been our PSR. We couldn't have done anything else just by him. No. So there you go. That shows you the task. Ped, just quickly bring you in to this, just briefly, and then you can go back to whatever you were doing. Exactly, yeah, looks like it. Brilliant week, isn't it? To a lot of people, when we were speaking a few weeks ago, were very fearful of the games we had coming up, and we've sat here.
What, each other?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because we've sat here before, and that Carlo season, I remember us doing the show and people were telling us we were getting 2 points, and we went the whole of these. We ended up second at the end of December. We won about 4 or 5 games. And sometimes this happens with Everton, doesn't it? You look at games and you go, we can beat them, and we get 1 win or something.
That's just football to a T, though, isn't
But it's Everton. I think it's Everton more so. But this has been an incredible week, hasn't it? Following that United game and everyone was flat, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's been a decent week, hasn't it? It's been a decent week.
I was expecting more energy. I'll be honest.
I'm just basking in the relaxation of it all. Everyone's just a bit more relaxed now, aren't they? It's a good time. It's been a good week. It just looks like we've got a decent team now, doesn't it? Just looks like we've got a decent team and
a decent manager.
Manager's done well.
Decent manager.
Done well.
And everyone can just. But I've seen a lot of people getting a little bit worried. People sending me WhatsApp messages on Saturday afternoon, a little bit worried about the scores. Naming no names.
Oh, what? No, it's because of that kicking the balls. No, it was when Burnley were winning and Sheffield United were winning. You just look and go, oh, for fuck's sake.
It is a little bit like,
you're trying to keep that feel good going, aren't you? That's all it was. I'll be honest, I was a bit worried yesterday at half time and Luton were winning. I was like, oh, fuck.
I was a little bit worried with 3 minutes to go. I think it was 1-0. No, it's good. It's good. Team's doing really well. It's just keep it going, isn't it? No banter next week, but I haven't even started thinking about next week yet. Just shake that off. No, see, everything's going well, going in the right direction. It's just again, I'm like the manager in the press conference when he said about, oh, you've got 23 points. Like, why did you have to say that?
I mean, the manager did keep saying on one of them, we've got 14 points. It was like, show me, we haven't got 13, mate. 13. We should have 23, but we
think we're getting a point.
Counting the point we should have had at Anfield.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah, that VAR at Anfield, it was a point.
No, it is really annoying when you think about.
They'd be 5 off Europe.
When you look up at the current makeup of the league table,
like 2 points off Europe.
2 off Europe, 5 off 5th.
Europe is going to go to 8th this year.
Yeah,
if the Carling Cup obviously gets won by someone in the top 6 or 7, it's going to go to 8th.
Well, we're winning it, so put that in your pipe and smoke.
By the way, I like that.
I like the old reference. Yeah. It's tremendous.
No,
not acknowledging a Jag drink name.
It's like the Ensley, mate. Yeah, relegated to the Ensley.
The Ensley.
Yeah. It's like the Echo Arena, isn't it? Like,
of course it is.
We're in the Milk Cup, mate. If we can win the Milk Cup, we're buzzing.
The Echo Arena, it's
No, it's been good.
It's the Echo Arena, it's the Carling Cup. But, no, I like that. But yeah, it's the players have shown the mentality this last week, really, because me myself especially, and I assume probably a lot of others after that Man United loss, are like, is this what word am I looking for? Expecting that we've got to overcome this 10-point deduction. Is this going to be too much for them? Because that's a massive task to take on, and it's not one that these players will have experience in, because this rarely happens. It's hard to prepare for that, and I was certainly worried about will they be able to deal with that sort of pressure. They've smashed it out the park, and I think that's what the manager was maybe trying to stress as well. When he made his comment about Dobbin not dancing, and slightly confusing comment, but I do understand what he's getting at to an extent. So I think he's saying no. It's there's a lot of passion in this team, and that release of you've scored your first Everton goal in a really big game, and you've not been able to do a pre-planned dance, but you've just got this massive release of emotion, and you see it after the final whistle as well, with that Jackson trying to get round, all the players getting involved, and it is a good bunch. It looks, they've all got each other's backs, and they all will work very hard. Seeing, Onana chest bump and Decore, he stopped it going out for the corner, just willing to fight for this.
Made a huge difference, by the way, when he came on yesterday, Onana.
And he made the sub early as well. Dyche made it at half time. I was thinking I'd take Guy off here. I don't think he's having his best game.
Well, he got the book. He got booked. He couldn't tackle. He was doing all right, but what I will say is James Garner was anonymous in the first half and outstanding in the second half.
It's a very good second half.
Dyche was carrying the whole midfield in the first half, but he got the booking. Once he got the booking, all he could do was go and press, couldn't he?
Yeah, and he didn't look like he was playing with that much composure as well. And you think maybe there's a second yellow here coming. But to be honest, I wasn't expecting Dyche to make the sub that early, and that's something some of us has bemoaned at times, not making the subs. He's done it at half time.
Done it early with Dom as well. He took Dom off quite early, really, didn't he?
Do you think he takes Dom off with medical? An
eye to his injury.
No, but actual medical knowledge. Is he
just in case, possibly?
Is he wearing a vest or something, and they know?
Yeah, wearing vests.
How far? Because I thought that sub was too early. I didn't think Better was particularly good when he came on.
I didn't think Dom was particularly good. That was the problem.
I think if you look at how Dom. They played Dom really well because a lot of it was in the air, but every time, Beto, the ball just kept on coming back.
No. I just thought Dom was. I thought the first half, the front three were dreadful. The Corey and Calvert-Lewin thought they were terrible in the first half.
Yeah,
they just couldn't get. Got to give Chelsea credit, to be fair. They cut us down, didn't they? We only had nine shots, and we've been having 20 odd. So you got to give them credit because they did defend well. I just thought to be honest, the first half was flat. Both teams were The crowd were quiet and the game was flat. It was a typical 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon game. And my worry was, we've had a great result on Thursday and we're needing to, this is a good opportunity here. Because they're very good till the final third, aren't they? The final third, they just look...
I'm going to strike you.
Yeah, they haven't got a... Although I thought Broya done all right in the first half. He disappeared massively.
I think dealt with him
He did
well.
deal with him.
I think for us, though, if you look back at the big moments in the game, the Dwight McNeil shot came from Dom doing really well, keeping the ball alive and then getting it back.
No, he did well.
The goal, obviously, the first goal comes from Dom's run and obviously the shot.
That pass is incredible.
Great pass.
It's a great pass, great run, and it makes the goal. I just thought when Beto came on, I just thought we lost the outball because he wants it in the channels, and we lost that. And because it was so early in the game, it just allowed them to settle into a routine.
And we did keep on
giving the ball back.
Jack Harrison.
Yeah,
for about 10 minutes, he was trying to give them a goal.
I mentioned this. Jack Harrison wants to take people on and stuff. Whereas sometimes I think he just needs to know when to take the foul. But you know what? Almost just boot it into the crowd at times as well.
The thing was, though, there was twice just before he went off where Beto spun in the channel and he turned away from the first man brilliantly. And I'm thinking, just clip it into that corner and Beto's after it.
But you look at
and he held on and then he gave it away and they broke and he done it again.
If you look at Beto's heat map, it's all in the channel. All of it.
He wants it round the corner, doesn't he?
He wants it round the corner all the time, and because we just never played that ball. It's not his fault. I'm not playing with Beto. I'm just saying that's where maybe sometimes the crossover. And I was just thinking maybe that must be on a medical thing.
But they're probably just saying a lot. There's a lot of games in it.
I'm just wondering whether to use the in-game data to make that decision rather than go
look at him and go,
oh, he's looking. Because I thought again he looked fine when he took him off. I just thought, I was like, I wonder why they do. I just wonder if that's what they use in game.
The other thing would be as well, obviously they didn't know Beto was going to come on and not be able to get into the game, and Dom hadn't been great, so maybe it was the gamble that Beto will come on and...
I was just wondering if we would play that, and Patterson did try and play 1-2 minutes, just over it. He was in again, it just...
I think Harrison's decision-making isn't quick enough sometimes, though, to play that pass.
But it was sound having Beto, so it's good being able to do that. Great being able to have Onana coming on at half time. Great being able to have Patterson should be starting for me, but and also obviously it was great that Dobbin come on and affected the game. Made up for him and said to Andy next to me about time. These subs come on and just win the game for it, win the game. Beto put it to bed the other night, but that you don't expect, and then. Obviously, he did as well.
Shades of James Vaughan, wasn't it?
It was great.
When he scored.
It was just great, wasn't it? But
got a comment off Bellingham as well.
Give him the L. So that's basically Bellingham's and Evertonian, so that's fine. That's good. It's good to know. It's all things are good in the Blue House.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd get in the team over to Corey.
Well, yeah, but he'd just be patient. He's a young player. He can just be patient. He's good. Last 20. When James Garner's tiring, maybe, or when Decore's tiring, just play him off.
Yeah, or when Decore gets suspension eventually.
Yeah.
We've got an alright option then.
Yeah, decent, yeah. I mean, we have made, I think Jordan Pickford now has got the most clean sheets in the Premier League joint. I think 5, is the record in the Premier League at the moment. And he's got himself into that conversation this week. With the 3 clean sheets. But if you're the defence, it started off with Mudryk, Skin and Ashley Young, and I was thinking,
for the pass that wasn't even on, by the way, that was Young's all day, but he just doesn't have the legs.
And I was just thinking, we could be uncomfortable down this side here, because he got in again, didn't he? And he cut it back for that shot.
That's the one thing Mudryk's got, it's speed.
It's the pace, isn't it? But, I suppose Young put a tackle and got injured, didn't he? And then Patterson come on. Were you impressed with Patterson? Because I thought coming on against him with his pace, but I think it was a good game for him because he was able to get fit, really tight to Mudryk. And I thought he defended really well when he come on.
I thought he did well. He had the odd little moments where things looked a little bit shaky, but he looked mature in his performance, and that's what we've been wanting to see from Patterson, isn't it? To show he can come into this team, because that's what Ashley Young's getting in this team on, the idea of maturity. I don't think he's necessarily shown it on many occasions, but that's the idea, isn't it? This old, this reliable player.
Yeah.
Patterson come on and he didn't look phased.
No.
And I think that's what you need, especially as a young player coming into a Sean Dyche team. I think that's obviously his performance is the main factor, but Branthwaite coming into this team and being undroppable, it's his maturity. He's not fazed by any pressure. He just deals with everything confidently. I think Patterson for the vast majority of the game was like that as well. And I want that right back spot, Spears, to be honest. And you know, maybe Seamus gets a game when he comes in as well, because he's just brilliant to have on the pitch. But you know, Patterson can be our right back for the next 10 years if he really knuckles down and he develops. And
or someone tries to sell him if he starts doing well.
Yeah,
but that's fine. That's football.
It gives us a different profile at right back as well. That, you know, we see the benefits of it, especially like we say with Harrison maybe not being able to play that pass all the time. We seen Patterson do it against Newcastle as well, and he attempted it again. Yesterday.
He put a couple in the first half as well into the channel. Not bad bum. He got a throw-in off Dom when and got one was a throw-in off one of them, and it just takes you up the pitch. And I just think he's the legs and the energy of what this team needs. Seamus showed it and this isn't just about Ashley Young, who's actually done all right of late. He's been quite solid of late.
Yeah, he was sound.
But I just think like Seamus against Newcastle showed you the old shades of him, like getting beyond the wide player, which means there's a bit more space. And then Patterson joins in and does the same. I think his final ball's got to be a little bit better. We know that. But he gets himself into good areas. And I think he's proven, it's been proven with Jarrod Branthwaite and it's been proven with James Garner that if you leave them in, these kids have got the right attitude. And I think Patterson's in with that. Look at the most improved player on Michalenko. He was sensational yesterday. He really was.
Well, he's saying he's had an injury for 18 months now, hasn't he? He said he's had an injury for 18 months. He said he's had a hip injury since
he got here, basically.
Dunk's first game. He said he's had a hip injury.
Oh, that hasn't the Villa game.
Shake off till he got injured and was out. He said he's been playing with a hip injury, and that's why.
Maybe that's why he looks quick.
It's on the Everton website, I think. He said he hasn't been able to train properly, and he hasn't been able to. Maybe that's been affecting him bulking up and stuff. So he said it was so painful that it was reducing to his knees.
Shows you, doesn't it, that we watched them, and you
got one left back.
You know, you're looking and going, oh my God, is he gonna be good? You know, I've been said it the whole way along. I think he's a really good defender. He just wasn't what we needed. We needed an attacking fullback. Since he's had the injury, and obviously they've worked with him and he's got himself fit, he's been incredible of late. And listen, I'm not gonna go way over the top on him. He's just been very good. And what I've noticed is since he got back in the team, and certainly in kind of like the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's always now seems, and maybe it's because he's confident he can sprint back, he always now seems to be around the opposition's penalty area for the Dobbins goal. He's on the edge of Chelsea's box for the corner.
Oh yeah, you see him looking at it and ready to go for
and there was one earlier on when he should have done what Dobbin did. He swung at it with his right foot and he went in the back row of the park and nearly at the TV box in the corner. But
weak foot, ain't he?
I've no problem with him hitting it. That's exactly what you want him to do. He had one at Palace, which resulted in him actually scoring. He had the shot with the right foot, and then it ricocheted, didn't it? Got played wide. He's been in great form, hasn't he, Jack?
Yeah, he has, and he's set the standard for players who maybe are on the fringe of this team. And that was never the situation for him because he was the only left back, but he was certainly a player that a lot of fans were looking at and going, maybe he's not good enough. And he's just shown a turnaround and ability a player can have. And you're right in saying there are always little things that we might not know about, and that adds context. And if do
you think the club should sometimes give us that little bit of information?
Yeah.
Or do you think it leads to too many questions? Because the player might be saying things like, I'm all right to play with it, but they know he's not at 100%. And if that information's out there, then we start going, why are you playing him then if he's in? You know what I mean? Does it bring more questions?
Might want to target him because he's carrying a knock. I think as long as you have a manager who doesn't pick teams based on what the fans say and, the culture within the club is, look, we know, so it's all right. Don't pay attention to anything else because they don't know about it. Like, we know what's going on, so that's all that matters, which I think we do have.
Yeah, I spotted, really.
I don't think it really makes a difference. Obviously, it makes you feel a little bit bad when you hear that and you're like, he should have done better. And, maybe he still could have done better with the injury. I don't personally know the extent of it, but yeah, I've got no real problem with them not telling us because I wouldn't want that to come out, and then every right winger in the country is like carrying a knock, is he?
On him. Yeah. No, we just got it. It's going well at the moment. Things can change quickly, can't they? And they could change back the other way. We could hit a wall. We just got to take one game at a time. Cliche and all that, but you've got to just take one game at a time, haven't you? And
absolutely
see where they end up. I think the manager's done a great job in keeping that level, that kind of like middle ground, so to speak. I think they've all done an exceptional job since the 10 points in being able to galvanise them. The win at Forest was huge. It was absolutely huge because obviously the United game was a hammer blow. There was a lot of hype and a lot of pressure around the Manchester United game. And I'll be honest, I don't know whether you agree, but I'm putting that United defeat as bad as losing to Luton at home. Because they are crap. Right now, they are crap.
They're better than Luton.
Bournemouth should have beaten 4-0 at the weekend. They're unlucky not to get a fourth at Old Trafford. They are grim. And they were grim on the day and we just wasted chances.
They were very poor, you're right, but there's not a Luton player who'd score.
No, but I'm saying as a result at home. See, we're trying to build some momentum at home. I don't think we should be losing 3-0 at home to Man U. Not this United side. It's so poor.
No, but I'd also look at the circumstances in that game as well, and it was always going to be hard for them with that atmosphere the way it was. And, you know, the biggest story of that day,
the worldie killed it, didn't it?
And then the
worldie killed
well.
it.
And like, I get what they're not a good team at all. We'll get into that on M-Tag, I'm sure. But,
we did say that one, sure we said on M-Tag, it could go either way, doesn't it? Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll get into that. But they're not a good team, but they are capable of...
Got brilliant individuals, haven't they?
It's one of them for me. It's not in the same world as Luton.
Oh, no, I'm disappointed. My standards are much higher than yours, Jack. That's fair play. The other thing as well, I think, when you're looking at You've looked at this, is obviously we knew the suspensions were going to kick in. Obviously, Brantwaite's missing at the weekend. I've just seen one of the comments just saying, who would you go for, Keane or Godfrey? So, who would you go for?
I'd go for Keane.
Would you?
To be honest, I know that might not be the most popular choice, but I just don't trust Godfrey at all.
But you trust Michael Keane?
No.
Okay.
But, you know, Michael Keane is a player
who's a better passer,
makes mistakes. I think Godfrey is just a poor centre-back at all. With Michael Keane, there's the possibility that he might not make a mistake and therefore it could have an alright game. Whereas Godfrey, you just look at his positioning and look at his heading. I don't see how he has a good game at centre-back in this team, the way things have gone for him the last couple of years.
It's bad, isn't it, Pet, that we have got two centre-backs and you should be looking and going, yeah, he can easily come in, but you are a little bit concerned about the ball. I think Michael Keane, when he's playing his best version of himself, is a decent centre-back, and he is better at the moment, or he's shown he's better than Ben Godfrey, and being kind. He's shown he's better than Ben Godfrey, because Ben Godfrey, for me, his Everton career has been ruined by being moved into 4 different positions, and therefore he's never ever settled in one.
It's the
that's the frustration, isn't it? Really,
it'll be Keane, won't it? Because Keane's a better passer for a start.
Yeah,
he's a better passer. He can play the ball from the back. He'd be with Tarky, so you know they know what they're doing. That was a partnership that's played together under Dyche. Wasn't great, and I'm not particularly looking forward to it, but we'll see what happens. But I think I just don't think it's not going to be Godfrey, and I can see Godfrey leaving Everton soon. So
Spurs want him, apparently. The Tottenham thing's real. Apparently.
No, I mean I can understand why clubs would want him. He'll fit in with different. It's horses for courses, isn't it? Yeah. Some players fit different managers, and he just doesn't. He just doesn't fit in with what we've got, and he's got a brilliant player in front of him. He's a young lad. He needs to move on now. His career's not going anywhere at Everton.
No.
The manager doesn't fancy him. He's clearly, and I don't know, and that could just be because he's got a good player ahead of him. But yeah, I expect Keane to play just a one-off, get it done. Hopefully, he has a decent performance, and then we get on with it. But
it's good for him if he does, isn't it? Because it's about we want all our subs to be at a good level, don't we? And confidence.
It helps the dressing room as well, doesn't it? And then, you know, if he can come in and have a good game and build a bit of confidence, we know, okay, if we have to play it again, maybe we can rely on you. And you know, the last time he was in this Everton team on the pitch, it was a very different on pitch atmosphere. and it'd be good for him to come into, what's a more positive atmosphere now,
Solid,
and, be able to maintain that and play well himself and be involved in that. So I think just for him as a person, not even as a footballer, that'll probably do him a world of good as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'd had a message off Matt on Twitter who'd wanted us to discuss it. Do we think the 10 points has actually made Everton better than probably or possibly what it would have been? And this is so difficult to quantify, isn't it? It feels like, we're all together and it's galvanised the club and all that. I mean, how would you answer that? I don't know.
We said this when we were talking about the potential negative effects the points deduction can have in terms of mentality, and we said it could also be positive as well. And even if these points were to get refunded to us,
refunded. That's a classic. I like that. I like it, Jack. I like it. Yeah. Have we got the receipt?
Let's
get back.
We've got the receipt.
We've got the receipt.
It didn't fit us.
Yeah.
Is the problem.
There you go. The 28 days.
Doesn't suit us.
Get it back.
No.
Doesn't suit us.
No, not my style.
No.
But we'll never be able to know what would have happened in these games. So it's impossible to really quantify, like you say. But
what do you think? Do you think it's given Everton an extra percentage, or do you think this is just probably something the manager was creating anyway?
We were doing well prior to it. We were building good form.
Isn't it 9 wins in 12 in all competitions?
It is a ridiculous tally, like.
Yeah, we were building good form anyway. I think it's gave us. I don't think it's really changed much in terms of how we've played, but I think it's changed the after-game conversation, which is maybe building the atmosphere and the atmosphere in the fan base and the atmosphere in the dressing room as well, which then maybe gives us a bit more confidence going into the next game after that. I think that's probably the effect it has. I don't think it's doing much, on the pitch as the game's happening. But I think, the players' mentality going into the games, especially after clawing some of these points back, is like, nah, like, we are going to stay up and, that's benefiting them. So I think maybe, in a way, now we've got those results, we are seeing that benefit. It's so hard to measure, isn't it? What do you think?
I honestly don't. I think what it's done is, it's put the fans with the team. And I think, listen, I'll be honest, I think the fans have generally been with the team anyway. I think we saw the board went, and that made people kind of go, okay, well, we're all sort of on the same page now, aren't we? Even just people who liked the board, maybe not liked the board, but were just like, whatever. Yeah. And then obviously the people who wanted it gone and wanted new. And I think that's moving towards a conclusion. Mightn't be the conclusion everyone wants, but it's moving towards a conclusion. But all of those problems have moved out the way, and we were left with this thing. I think my issue was the home form with the management team. It just simply wasn't good enough, and I've said many times, if they can start to turn that, they'd be smart. The management team, the manager, since he's come in away from home, Everton have been sound. He's had that sorted, and that's a hard thing to do, is create a mentality where when you're on the road, you don't collapse. How many times have we said with an Everton team, lose one goal, they're quite capable of losing 3 in 10 minutes because they're like a deck of cards, aren't they? And he's done brilliantly to alleviate that. There's been a couple of occasions when it crept back in, and there might have been a reason with that as well. Maybe some of the personnel who were in the team at the time. So they've done brilliantly to do that, and then it was a case of arresting it. I still don't fully buy some of the performances were great. I heard them saying again, we were great against Arsenal. We weren't. We were dreadful against Arsenal at home. We really were. But he's done a really good job, and it's turning now, and therefore we're on that. But I think what I feel like he's been able to do is something which we all discussed, but it's easier said than done. And that is say to the players, lads, just remember how well you're playing. You're winning games. Look at the league. Forget about the table, like where you are, but just look at the win column. The win column puts you where you were, which was mid-table. You have to go up to West Ham, who in 9th, to find a club that's won 7 games this season, apart from Everton. So he's been able to do that. And if you're in that squad, if you can, you do just need to remember, we're beating loads of teams. And I was saying to people around us, and I think we said it on Friday, Jack, without the points deduction, Ped, we were above Chelsea anyway yesterday in the league, weren't we? So, what do you think? What do you think? But I know it's hard to quantify, but do you think it's given them an extra?
It's give us like an enemy, which sometimes is what you need. Like
sometimes in life you need a nemesis, don't you?
Yeah, like Liverpool obviously got like Man City, haven't they? Like, you know, that's there.
Yeah.
You're chasing. Who we had to chase? Well, in the last year or so, we've been fighting with our own club
ourselves, isn't it? Yeah.
So that was not very healthy.
No,
and unfortunately, they started it, and you know, it didn't matter how many times we told them they needed to pack it in and behave themselves. They couldn't help themselves. So you had that, and then that has gone away now. And
there's a bit more of a do you think there's a bit more of a calmness around Goodison?
Since I can't really go into it.
Go on.
But I feel just like now, like it's my club again. Genuinely, I feel like it's my club again. I don't mean like mine, like I own it, but you know what I mean. I feel like it's my club again. Like there's nobody there to have a fight with anymore. Like genuinely, there's nobody there. So this is like, so I would have been like sound anyway, but this has added that extra layer of it is us versus the world. And beforehand, it was just the whole thing. Just you want to hate everybody, like your football club, and you'll see this. Different people have this. It's like you want to burn the whole thing down. So you want to burn everybody. And that included the manager, that included the players, because you just hate everybody. That's the way I am anyway. Everyone knows the way I am.
It's emotion.
No, it is. That's all it is with me. It's just emotion with me. I hate the football club at certain times, and I hated the football club over the last year. So I hate everybody in the football club, and that includes the manager, and that includes the players, and therefore
toxic relationship.
And then I say emotional, stupid things. Of course I do. I'm famous for it.
Yeah, but we all do.
But now I'm calm because I feel like it's my football club again, and now we have actually got somebody else to fight. And I'd rather it not be that way, because actually if we had our 10 points, none of this, like, what a great season for Everton to lose 10 points, although stay up comfortably. Yeah, maybe we'd be challenging for Europe. Yeah. And people may laugh at that, but the table actually says that. And Europe will go to 8th this season.
Well, hang on, Villa challenging for the league.
Technically, yes.
Right now they are.
Technically, they are.
So therefore, Everton would be challenging for Europe. But whether we still would be in March is a different. You don't know.
But the league, it will go to 8th. That's just fact. The Champions League is 5 places, 2 Europa League places, and a conference. As far as I'm aware. So if it goes to 8th, everybody who is sort of, if you look at the league table, if we had our 10 points now, anyone who's around, like, say, Chelsea would be going for Europe this season.
Still, yeah.
So why wouldn't Everton be going for Europe?
We'd be clear of them.
4 points clear now, aren't we?
So if you look at it that way, it's that fight of, like, we feel wronged and we need to keep putting that out there. And anything, I know some people don't like this, but anything that happens, so like the thing yesterday with like Jackson putting his hands around Patterson, every Everton fan should be putting that on social media and going, what the fuck is this? What is this? And you know what? Even if it just builds that thing amongst the fan base of, like, it's us versus the world. Don't let anything sleep. Don't let anything lie. Go after them for everything and just create that mentality. And listen, what happened on Thursday night with Sky, it might be like people can go, oh, it's a disgrace, but I think it's hilarious funny. That to me is like, yes, we're getting to them. We're getting to these people. Make the story about Everton fans going after these different sets of people. Obviously, not in a
hostile way.
No, you can have your hostile way, but not in a physical.
You can make it a club where you think we don't want to upset these because you get it with other fan bases.
Yeah. Well, what you get is then you get people talking from the outside. I seen a little bit of NBC yesterday, and they had Robbie Earl and Phil Neville in the studio. And they're sort of saying, Everton now, they're creating something. And Phil Neville's a bit like, he didn't say, but you could see, like, you know, this is what I had at Everton, this sort of mentality. And that has been the mentality, and that's been lost over the last few years. Yeah. Because we tried to start playing ball with everybody else, trying to be the money people, you know, Hollywood manager and all that. And what we've actually done is we've gone back to what suits us. You know, someone clothes before, you know, I can't wear a suit. I can't walk around in a suit. I just can't. I mean, I look good in a suit. I just can't. It just doesn't suit me. I don't feel comfortable. It's not what I wear. I know what I wear, jeans and hoodies, and that's what I feel comfortable. And this feels comfortable. This feels like a good match for Everton at the moment. And all this, everybody hates us and we hate everybody else. And we've got a manager who plays into that, and we've got players who play into that. That suits us as a football club. So if this has helped bring that out, maybe in the long run, this is what sort of saves the soul or brings the soul back. Because we lost our soul.
We had this with Moyes, didn't we?
We lost our soul. Thanks, Nelly. We lost our soul when Mashiri came in, and maybe this is going to help us find our soul back and come back to what we should be.
I think we're a very good underdog. There's a lot of people who want to be the underdog and feel like they have the world against them, and they don't. A lot of clubs think that way. We work very well in that us against the world mentality. We did lose that when we were outspending half the league and managed by Ancelotti and taking players off teams around us. You're not an underdog in that situation. You're trying to scrap with the big boys, and I want Everton to be able to scrap with the big boys again, but. We do thrive in that sort of, no, we will overcome this, and the odds are against us, but we can do it mentality, and, we have sort of reinstalled that. I think we were building that anyway, because we have a manager who embodies that, and that's what he's done his whole career, and, didn't spend loads of money, haven't spent loads of money the last few years, and then, we're starting to do well again, so I think that was coming anyway, but it's really gave us something to focus on, hasn't it? Like you say, it gave you that enemy.
I think the difference is, and you're absolutely right, but I think the difference is you go back to the last game of the season last season and you listen to what he says, what the manager's saying. He's fighting with the people at the football club. He's literally saying to the people at the football club, I can't do this if you keep on behaving the way you... Yeah. You only have to listen to what he says. He's like, this is nothing. This is the beginning. But we have to all realise that you listen back to his words. He's basically telling the people at the club they've got to sort this out. This can't go on because it won't go on. We won't stay up if this goes on. And Sean Dyche has become the de facto leader of Everton Football Club because there is nobody else. Yeah, and he actually relishes it. I watched the press conference yesterday, and I watched it the other night. And he's talking about the Dogs Award banner. Oh yeah, I bought that. And it's like, and yesterday's like the dancing, for fuck's sake. But he said, I enjoyed that celebration. It was proper celebration. None of this, I think he might have been somewhat better, I don't know. But he's like, I like that celebration because they're all in it together. And it's like, you can see that what he likes is what the fans like, and which is just getting back to basics. But he is the de facto leader at the football club because there's nobody else. You might have had him in front of the camera instead of Colin Chong talking about the 10-point deduction. Do you know what I mean? And that's not against Colin Chong. He's a good bloke. But,
no, I know what you're saying.
But he might as well have just been an AI that day. There is no leader of this football club, so it is all on Sean
We're in
Dyche.
a weird position as well, aren't we? We're not quite rudderless, but we haven't got...
Well, we are rudderless. I mean, in terms of
the leadership.
In terms of leadership, we are rudderless. We've got basically a skeleton crew keeping us going.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it's like it's the most difficult periods of our existence. But whatever, let's just get on with it because we're winning games of football. But it'll sort itself out. That all sorts itself out, I imagine.
You know what it's like, Peds? It's like Braun GP.
It is like Braun GP. You're absolutely right. You're right, mate. And I'm impressed that you've actually watched that documentary. But I'm not surprised because it came out about 3 weeks ago. And if it come out 4 weeks ago, you would be like, "What's that? I don't know what that is."
I think it probably did come out over a month ago.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm impressed. I'm impressed you watched it, but I'm also impressed that you also haven't forgotten about it by now. As being a
where was all this positivity we had half an hour ago?
Which positivity?
What positivity? Still here.
Nah, I think Ped's in a bad mood now. He's started with your generation.
I'm just.
It's just facts.
It's just facts.
He's smiling. He's just sitting here with facts.
That you've watched something.
That's good.
A documentary 4 parts.
Take it on the chin.
That isn't on TikTok.
I don't
That's
use
impressive.
TikTok.
It's impressive. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Rondon, the legend, says everybody smash the likes. Well, he's the man. Mike Rafferty, I'm guessing. It was your birthday over the weekend, so a very happy birthday, mate. What a weekend, what a few days. Sophie says, what a week. Jokers on Richard Masters and the Premier League minions. I remember Baz telling me on Twitter not to panic. Told you so, don't panic. Stay calm. Kev says, afternoon, that's good to see you back, Baz. Thank you, Kev. we've done that. Would we be on the run if the points weren't deducted? We've just done that. Who says we wouldn't be? James says John Blaine's obviously the curse patient. Keep him in Florida.
He must be fuming.
Yeah, he'll be fuming, John, won't he?
When did he go to Florida?
The day of the Forest game.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
So we've won 3 games while he's not been here. Stu says Pochettino said to Dyche while pointing to the crowd he wishes he had what we had, our fans. Remember Mourinho said this? Remember being at Stamford Bridge years ago, we got beat 2-0 or 1-0. I think Arjen Robben scored after about 69 minutes. We lost 1-0 and our fans, we were unbelievable start to finish. And I remember Mourinho saying like, oh no, these fans are unbelievable. Wish we had it here. What they had, 40,000.
They made me laugh. The Chelsea fans singing, "Is this a library?"
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Chelsea, I've never been to a football ground that is so like going to Disneyland. It is. There's pictures all over the place which say get a photo.
Get a photo here.
Honestly, all over the place. Like get a photo here, get a photo here, get a photo. There's an actual thing on the wall saying there's all like meters and greeters everywhere.
It's like a big blue Mickey Mouse.
There's a big like sign that says Chelsea. You know the letters like that you had in like Amsterdam and stuff. It is the most Disney-fied football ground that I've ever been to. And I remember going back there. I remember going there in '95. I thought I was going to die on that day.
Scary place.
It was a scary place. In fact, I was like, I had an Everton top on, but it was boiling, and I took it off and I put it over my shoulder, so it looked like that it was
just a Chelsea shirt, yeah.
Because
it is a scary place, man.
And I went a few years ago.
Rather.
I think we drew
different world.
And honest to God, it was like being at Disneyland. It was completely different.
It's a different,
completely different. And honestly, and they're saying, is this Disneyland? They're the most soulless football club there is. Chelsea.
It is weird. They've got the hardcore who were there right the way through it.
But
we're old enough to remember them basically being like a Fulham. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just and even worse than like in the Championship. What would be the Championship, and then coming back up. I went there. I started going there in like the 90s, and it was some of the places like on the Legless Ladder and pubs like that. Like you'd go in and be a bit like, got to be carefully. You know what I mean? It was a bit lively. But over the years, it has changed. But yeah, they're fan food singing about feed the Scousers and all that. Embarrassing. It was quality from Everton that they just put the food bank's image up straight away the minute they started.
That's all it needs. It's like, because that's real. The food banks and the need for food banks, unfortunately, it is real. And, you know, hopefully people are singing that. But you'll get people, especially when we played Forest and Newcastle as well. I'm not saying this to have a dig at any people from these areas, but those aren't the most affluent areas. You know, Newcastle, very proud working class city. Nottingham City Council, unfortunately, recently went bankrupt. And you'll have people singing that chant who might be worried about paying the bills this month. You know, wouldn't wish that on anyone, but when Everton just put that up and go, no, this is real, actually.
United singing it was embarrassing. Manchester. People from Manchester singing that about it. It's incredible.
You know, one of the players, you know, say what you want about him on the pitch, but off the pitch, he's done some amazing things in terms of providing for working class people.
In Manchester, you know, where the kids, the families can't feed themselves and the kids haven't got meals in schools, and you're singing about that's embarrassing.
Council went bust.
Yeah.
The week of the game.
They really should be embarrassed. If any of their fans start singing that, they should get them and give them a slap. It's embarrassing for that football
but that's how I personally see that chance. It doesn't even annoy me. I just see it like, you know, when you look at it, like you might look at the kid who sits at the back of the class eating crayons. Like it's, that's just a bit slow him, isn't he? Like,
I don't think you can say that, Jack, but you know what I mean.
No, but
I think,
you know what I mean?
No, at the end of the day, you just look and think, what a user embarrassing. That's all I think. When they start saying that, I think you're embarrassing. Yeah. You're embarrassing. The way it is, but hey ho. Mark says, buzzing lads, I'm on the piss in Cali. Fair play, mate.
Enjoy.
Fair play. Enjoy.
Don't forget on your social medias as well to hashtag Dick.
What's that about?
For Dwight McNeil.
For Dwight McNeil.
Have you not seen the thing where someone had put the picture of McNeil celebrating with the Cora, and obviously they'd enhanced it so it looks like I'm in mid-talk, mate, hang on a sec. They're in mid-conversation. Mid-conversation, Ned. When they're celebrating like that, and someone, I don't know why you would go onto Photoshop and enhance Dwight McNeil's parts, but the real picture is there. and it's nowhere near that. So I don't understand why. I mean, I think even he put it on his Instagram and was like that, as if to go, who has done this? Our fans are weird.
He shouldn't be giving up the secret. He should delete the original and upload that one.
That's just horrendous. It's better if you don't know.
No, I don't know.
Just hashtag Dyche.
No, I'm not going to hashtag
yeah,
that.
but what does that mean?
It's nothing bad. It's something good.
No, but what's it?
It's a competition.
What do we win?
You don't win anything, but
well, I'm not joining in then.
No, why do you have to win something? Why can't it be about the collective?
Joe said they were asking if it was a library because they wanted to close it down. The Tories. I mean, that's Joe. That's a harsh. Burn. That is harsh from Joe. He's gone in there.
I like it. Hashtag Dyche.
Where are we? That's gone there. I'm just looking for this, but it's gone. The Blues says Gordon, Newcastle's player of the season, and they're singing feet. The Scousers. It shows you how idiots they, like United. Should have ripped Scousers. Rooney was the best player. Like the best players ever played for them.
Your man's a Scouser. Making you sit here.
Oh yeah. True.
Did you hear the best stat about yesterday's game?
Go on.
First time it's ever happened. Gavin Buckland done this. Friend of the show.
Good lad.
Today is the first Everton game ever where the scorers have palindromic squad numbers. Abdoulaye Doucouré 16, 1-6. Lewis Dobbin 6-1, 6-1.
Nice.
How do you
find that stat? Because that's what he does. Gav's the man for that.
Isn't that incredible?
Gav just learned new words as well.
Palindromic. You didn't know that
one. Then
6.
60 that goes over 50.
What about this is nothing to do with them. What about Dunk?
Giving
the red card and dancing in the stand as they won 4-1. Yeah. Manager of the month. Didn't no cares for him. Mate.
I mean, they were at Hampton as
Hampton Park,
which is probably, if you think about getting a touchline ban in Scottish Championship football, no disrespect to them, but the stadium size generally isn't that big, so you'd probably still be able to, shout them and speak to them. Whereas, they're in one of the biggest grounds in the country, because that's where I think Queen's Park is in play.
Yeah.
So, he actually is far distance away
from
the team.
They don't play in Hampton anymore, do they?
That's where it was, Saturday.
Was he? Yeah.
Hampton
I thought
Park,
he built like a little mini ground outside.
No, they Hampton Park.
Do you still play Hampden? I thought he played a little mini stand now.
Where are we?
Know what
he was at Hampden on Saturday, apparently.
Crazy.
Where are we? Gavin Eric says, what a win. David says, morning gents, proper buzzing right now. Tough away game coming up. Jared Brandwaite's always going to pick up another yellow. Maybe this was the best time to get it. I honestly reckon Keane may do a good job against the Burnley strikers. Yes, I gasped when I said that. Says David. I was thinking about this yesterday. I would rather have missed Burnley away than Newcastle and Chelsea at home. Do you know what I mean? So I think, and that's not, I'm not being like disrespectful to Burnley, but what I mean is those two home games were huge for us because we needed to try to get momentum. He played in both of them. I mean, Michael Oliver nearly fell over trying to get the yellow card out to book him when he slid in. It was embarrassingly.
Yeah.
Give him Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well, we know he's had a little knock on his knee as well, and it looks to be all good. But, if we were thinking about, we could maybe do with a bit of time off as well, he's going to miss the game anyway. So if there was ever a time for it, it's still unideal because he's a great player. Like, he was playing really well.
He can have a breather, can't
he? He can get his breather now, and you're hoping. The hope is Michael Keane can come in and just maintain that level of performance. It'd be all good, and then Branthwaite can come back in fresh off his ban, get another 5 yellows, and we've got a few more games of him. Yeah,
brilliant, certainly, absolutely brilliant. Where were we up to? Steepy says, I know McNeil is one pace, but he does travel better with the ball than most players we've had in recent years. There's been a few times this season where he's picked the ball up near the halfway line and we score from it, especially when he's carrying it diagonally from the left. It's weird because he's faster when he's on the ball than when he is off it.
He is, yeah.
Also, do you know the meaning of the celebration they're doing with the finger point? Isn't it mentality?
Yeah,
that's
like
Rashford's one, isn't it? Which is mentality, but that might be directly to do with the Premier League thing of like whatever you do, where we've got the mentality. Who knows? Yeah, it is. He done brilliantly. And I have to say, even though I thought Michael Oliver was awful yesterday and he ate Everton, that bit of refereeing was fantastic.
Why did he book Cole Palmer?
For diving.
Oh, yeah.
There was no contact.
Yeah, there was no contact.
He fell over and got up and carried on.
I honestly thought it was a penalty. I thought it was a penalty.
He got up. He fell over. He slipped. His leg goes like that. And then gets up and gets the ball. And then...
Yeah, but
I thought that was a weird decision.
What I thought was weird was after Mudryk had been booked, he'd done 4 fouls, including an elbow into the back of Thingy's head off a free kick, and he never got sent off. I thought that was mad. And I thought Conor Gallagher had done about 6 fouls and never got booked. I thought that was mad. And yet he booked Branthwaite for 1 tackle and Guy for 1 tackle.
Yeah, they judge it on how big a player, don't they?
That's just crazy. He must have looked at Mudryk and thought, well, he's a winger and he's not really doing anything, so he's not hurting anyone.
He's got a Love Jesus tattoo. It's only Jesus, I think, on his neck.
Mudryk?
Yeah, he's
fair
got
play to him.
on the other side, so he can't hit no one.
Fair play.
Only got
fair play to him. But yeah, McNeil done brilliantly, travelling with the ball. Travelling. And the second goal is him on the goalkeeper, putting the goalie under pressure off the corner, which means the keeper can't catch it. So, fair play to him. Steve Kelly says, all right, lads.
No, he didn't.
What's that?
Someone's saying he literally kicked... Who? No, Cole Palmer got booked for diving, didn't he?
He got booked for diving for the what he thought was a penalty. Yeah.
No, I know, but it wasn't a... No, I know, but you've got to be...
I'll be honest, right, I'm only doing this from memory. I haven't seen that incident again.
When you're talking about referees, and if someone gets booked for absolute nonsense, you've got to call it out. And what Cole Palmer got booked for absolute nonsense. If someone tells me he got booked for something else, then fine.
No, but he got booked for diving.
But he definitely didn't dive. If we're gonna call out referees, you've got to call them out for everything. Not
he got booked for diving.
You want to see, and he definitely didn't. He got up.
I'll be honest, I thought it was a penalty. When he went down, I thought Michalenko, because the back to me, isn't it? And I just seen him go down and thought, no. And the referee blew the whistle, but I knew because he blew it quite, with a penalty, because they exaggerate it, don't they? Yeah. And he jogged over.
I thought we'd committed the foul, but it was a good spot to see that we hadn't, obviously. The booking for Palm was more debatable. I think it's because it looked like he moved his leg towards him looking for contact. I think that's the argument he made. But he didn't appeal for it, did he? He
gets up straight away.
Yeah.
He slips and gets up. And it's decisions like that where you just they baffle me. It's like that. It's like, no, but stuff like that is like the referee's trying to show everyone that I'm giving you one.
Do you know what else was mad? There was one below me with Cucurella and McNeil. Right, and he both went. It was in the first half. Can't remember, but it was right below me. And as McNeil got up, Cucurella went like that and swung him, kicked a leg at him, and not nothing from it. And I was thinking, VAR, look at that.
Sorry, can everyone right, go and watch the Palmer incident again? Because I must be looking at something completely different. So
I haven't seen it again. I'll have a look before the final word. He
literally falls over and gets up and chases the ball. He doesn't even give the referee a second to make any kind of decision. So you must be all seeing something I'm not seeing.
I'll have a look before the final word.
Apparently, Cucurella fronted the ball boy as well.
Someone on Twitter said. I think the referee might have taken the name of the ball boy as well, because he was writing someone on his yellow card, and I'm going, what? Who's he just booked? But
is that what? No.
He was writing someone on his yellow card.
Because I thought the Corey was getting booked.
No, it was because of the ball boy. Definitely because of the ball boy.
Weird. Yeah, the ball boy. Yeah, the ball boy.
One more than that to suspension.
Yeah, you're off, lad.
But then I've seen a lad on Twitter say as well, apparently there was a Chelsea fan fronting a duck in Stanley Park as well.
Well, fair. Yeah, but mate, if he's like, he could have been the equivalent of Ned, Chelsea's equivalent of Ned. Yeah. But Ned would have been running from Seagulls.
Scouse, see you next Tuesday. It's like it's a duck.
The duck might
be from Africa.
It could be from anywhere. Yeah. It could be from bleeding Southwest Kensington. He might have flew up to watch the match. Steve Kelly says, all right, lads, hope you both well. Dyche ball is great. Kane says, Dyche throwing Dobbin on over Danjuma says a lot. Where he is, and the manager's thinking probably best to cancel this loan in January. Over the moon for the kid getting his chance and taking it, unlike Danjuma. Brian says, what's the penalty for Everton winning 3 games on the run? Steve Warman says, yes, lads, hope you both well. Life as an Evertonian is wonderful. Alex says, afternoon, lads, another great win. Not to have a moan after such a great result, but it's clear to me the league officials are trying to bury us. They might seem small decisions at the time, but they all have an impact. Palmer and Mudryk could both have got second yellows yesterday, but didn't. Gallagher held McNeil into the build-up for our first goal, which was a nailed-on yellow, but he got nothing. It was the same Thursday when Harrison got dragged off the pitch by his shirt onto his arse, which was a foul, and a yellow, and we didn't even get the foul. Then Dyche got a yellow for shouting about it. It's why every win means more than 3 points or getting out the bottom three. Every win is a big FU to the league and officials. Brian says, afternoon lads, great win that yesterday. Have you noticed how the press haven't once praised Everton win, but instead made it all about Chelsea not performing?
I'd put that on Twitter as well. But look, we'll say it and we'll all say it. We know how good this Everton team has been performing. We know what a good job this manager's doing. Let them talk about Chelsea and let them talk about Newcastle and their struggles. Like, it's Everton for us, and we know, and the fans know, so that's why we'll stay behind them.
Yeah, see, who cares? We know. We were above them anyway before the game. They're not a good team. They've got tremendous footballers in that squad. They're not a good team, and there's a difference, isn't there? Everton at the moment look like a good team. I'm not saying they're a great football team. They're a good team that is together and fighting. Chelsea are a team of individuals. The way it is. Phil says, gutted. I said to myself, I'd lay off Dyche for 3 games if we beat Newcastle. Then I said 4 games if we beat Chelsea, which means I can't moan now until mid-Jan. Great performance by Dyche, lad. Defo a good decision to put Young at right back. Alex says, interesting to see Jackson has escaped any punishment for throttling Patterson, which is incredible. All a bit familiar, like when even Ivanovic did the same to McCarthy at Stamford Bridge and got no retrospective punishments either. You know, if the shoe was on the other foot, we get bans. Everton have never shone so brightly. The treble is still on, says Josh.
Have we considered, with Jackson, they haven't banned him because he's crap? And it's maybe like an actual punishment for Chelsea is now they've got to keep playing him.
I know, but...
No, I know.
You just want the levelness, don't you?
You want the consistency, but like...
Glenn says,
rubbish anyway.
Bars, Cassie, Cass, how are you feeling? 100% better. 100% better than ever. Still a bit of lingering. Still got a bit of man flu, but so... probably C. It's not a cold, my stomach, mate. Probably C. I'm edging towards the better level, which is good. Everton winning obviously greatly accelerates that. Mark says, another great winner, was impressed with the subs from Big Dyche. It's strange watching Chelsea. They're crying out for a player like Lukaku.
Sent off last night.
Yeah, did. Scored a good goal as well.
Good goal.
Georgie says, the talk of us getting 4 points back. Have you lot heard anything? No, I think we'll get 4 back because I think they'll still keep 6 with you broke PSR, and that's a 6-point penalty, which is what they want. So
I think 4 is the number the fan base have sort of settled on as a realistic, but yeah, we'll take it. Sort of. I
mean, really, they should have the 10 back because it's unprecedented. Yeah. Keane wasn't on the bench at the weekend. Is he even fit? Says Mark. I imagine that's illness, but I don't know. Jonathan says, Branthwaite out, I'd move Coleman to centre-back alongside Tarkowski. Steve said, I don't think we can say we've got 10 points back until there are 10 points between us and the bottom 3, if you see what I mean. That said, it's a fantastic week for the Blues, and fingers crossed we don't go full Everton and not get all the points against Burnley and beat a flying Fulham. But I was thinking about this today, is that everyone's expectation levels are going to go up again. No, we should beat them and we'll beat them. And then I guarantee it, if Everton beat Burnley and Fulham, Evertonians will be going, we should beat Spurs. They're not playing well. Take one game at a time. And Burnley on Saturday will be tougher than the 2 home games for me.
You know, that's a game I think we should be getting at least a point from.
Just don't get beat.
Yeah, but the thing is, because we've got good results and we've shown there is quality in this team, I think, we can be angry if the performance is bad by all means, but it doesn't have to be panic stations.
Garrett says, don't know if you knew, but Newcastle had a few injuries.
They've got a couple of injuries, I've heard.
Yeah. No, I've heard...
I wouldn't want to disrespect them.
No. Gaz says...
You want to be professional about it.
Yeah.
The way the media are going on, they're the only club that's ever had an injury.
Yeah, I mean, they have got bad injury crisis, but, when you've got the sort of money there, you've got to use that.
It's funny, isn't it? Because the game yesterday, the narrative is like being for the Spurs bubbles burst and all this. But Newcastle have got injuries. Like, Spurs have had loads of injuries.
Spurs have had injuries and suspensions.
All kinds.
Yeah. Newcastle had like Callum Wilson, people like that on the bench yesterday. He was, that top professional footballer was back. And a few others. I looked at their bench. They had a couple of kids still on it, but the bench was way stronger. Longstaff was back and all that. Spurs have still got no Maddison, no Van der Ven. They were key to them. Kuleveski coming back in the mask. Adam says, I've often commented on this channel with the start being, I am far from a Dyche fanboy, but, well, balls to it, I am. How long I have waited for a manager to just get the team to minimally work hard. How long have I wanted to be able to get behind a team of players I like and enjoy watching? Well, that time has arrived. It won't always get wins and be enjoyable as it is right now, but it won't be through the lack of trying. The biggest compliment I can give him is that even the players he clearly doesn't fancy, for example, Dan Juma, even they seem to be happy.
We're in that proper relationship phase now, aren't we? You know, where you've got through the first bit where you could break up with someone at any minute. You know, you said you were going to be here at 8 o'clock and you got your 5 past for finish kind of thing. We're in that relationship stage now where it's just, for whatever happens,
for good or bad,
for better or worse now, isn't it?
We'll see.
We're through.
Till death do us part.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we're quite there, but we've progressed. We've progressed, haven't we? Every date doesn't have to be going out date now, does it?
You can have a quiet night,
you can just have a Netflix.
Fart in front of them, though.
No.
No.
Lozenge says...
No, never. Sorry, mate.
Both of those things should be illegal. McLength, judging by his recent social media. It's not real, Lozenge, but I see what you did. Kev Rex says Callum Wilson's had a little dig at Pickford's time wasting on Thursday. Hang on. Nick Pope was time wasting from the 4th minute last season at Goodison until he was 3-0 up.
I don't think it was the time wasting. I think it was more just the general antics, which is fine. Listen, if you can't take it, then don't give it.
Yeah, but that applies to them.
As it applies to everybody, doesn't it? If you're going to throw your mouth.
DJ Spuddles to do with Richard Masters, Dick. Okay, go and vote. Kev Rex has got to say Dobbin's goal was one of the nicest feelings I've had as an Everton fan for a while.
It's James Vaughan versus Birmingham.
Which?
James Vaughan versus Birmingham.
Yeah. Taylor says, I remember it being said on this show numerous times, and how to move forward, you have to weed out the knobheads. Think with this squad we currently have, we have very much done that, maybe barring one or two. And Kev also said, notice Peter Eaves in the director's box yesterday. Do you lads know if he's been involved with the players behind the scenes? No.
He had a nice hat on them.
I think to be honest, right, it wouldn't surprise me if Dyche has had them at Finch Farm, but it won't have been a big thing because he is Dyche's mate. And Dyche did say early on, I think, I've had a conversation with Reedy and I've got him to sort and all that. So he might have gone in a couple of times, but it won't have been a big thing. And that's why all of a sudden the players are waiting. Sean Dyche, for all his faults, whatever, his MO is you work your bleeding bollocks off for your team and you stick together. That's what Burnley did. That's why they were able to do whatever. And fair play to him. He's got the Everton players doing it. And that's been a big thing because all we really... I'm never quite want to go, all you have to do for Everton is run around and work hard. No, we've got to have quality as well, but the least you have to do is go and, as he would put it, get sweat on your shirt. And I think even people like Jack Harrison yesterday, who has had much better games for Everton, even when he was out on his feet for the last 10 minutes before he went off, he was still running his bollocks off. He was still trying to put tackles in. That challenge by Michalenko, the block in the box again, was unbelievable yesterday. And the one where Garner runs back as Raheem Sterling's in round the back and James Garner tracks him and slides in ahead of him. Things like that, they're the moments where... And you see how the players...
Corey one.
Yeah, and you see, was it Michalenko put a tackle in or Brantwaite? One of them. And they celebrated together, hugged each other and then got on with the game. It's that...
I don't know if you caught it as well, but I think after Brantwaite got his yellow, I think Tarkowski had a word of him. Just keep the composure and that's what you want from, especially, your senior centre-back working with your younger one.
El Tel says the first time ever Rory Jennings has praised Everton on his podcast today.
Fair play to him.
There you go. And Nick says, Baz, what are your thoughts on Breuer? No, you were keen on him last year. Doesn't look the same player. Know what, though? I thought the first half, he was I do like him.
A worse centre-back than Brantwaite.
Yeah, I think he's got the power. I think he just needs to play games. He's only 21. He's had a bad injury. I think he needs a good run of games. He's a handful. You see the size of him. Yeah. He's a big unit.
I'd like to see him get out of Chelsea.
Yeah, if he got out of there I'd have loved him here, to be honest, but obviously got the injury. But I think if he'd have got out of there and played, he needs a full season somewhere, and I think you'll see him get better. But he isn't quite clicking yet, but he's got all the players need games. Look at Leon Bailey now. You know, I'm desperate for him. Everton wanted him. Then last season, people were like, I bet you're glad we never got Bailey. And I was like, no, I'd have still had him because he's quality. Now he's settled and Villa he's brilliant, isn't he? Winning games for them almost on his own. So players need to play games, as we've proved with Brantwaite, and we proved with James Garner and all that. Like, we've gone on far longer than I intended, but it's not often you win 3 games in a week without conceding a goal.
No, definitely not.
So it deserved it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe to More Than a Game. We'll be on it. What time, Ped?
I don't know. I'm just sitting here pressing buttons.
Okay. 2:15. 2:15 is the sexy link there. Ned, we'll put the link. We'll finish in 1 minute when Ned.
Done it, Ned, yeah.
It's done.
Done it before.
Ned's done it. So just hit that link,
hyperspeed link,
and it'll take the hyperspeed link.
He's soldering something at the moment, which is actually when you think about it.
Oh my God!
He's soldering something.
Well, that's all right. I think he's probably done it before.
There's metal, there's hot wires, there's equipment, and I mean, you know.
He looks like he knows his way around a soldering iron, so let's do it. Like. So listen, hit that link and go to More Than a Game. 2:15 we're on. So just get a drink and come on. There's loads of you here watching. Come and join us. See you in a bit.